Welcome back to Full Circle with Mikali. A very good morning to you. How you doing? Where you tuned in from? 111 That is our SMS line. It is going to cost you a shilling to talk to us. Leave your name and we'll definitely be reading out your text. Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. If you love to travel, if you're into adventure and you love to explore, well, this conversation is for you because it does not only give you a chance to do all these things, but it lets you do it on a budget. I'm talking to the founder of Nature Homes, Chris Muvaka. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Did I say that? Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you got it right.
Nimejaribu nisiseme na Kikamba because I'm Muvaka. That's how I'm supposed to say it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Would you call or term yourself an adventurer? Is that how would you?
It is. If you look at our name and where it came from,
yes.
you hear nature.
Yes, I don't know what that means, by the way.
Nature means nature, adventure, tour, and explore. So we use the last two as OR to make Nature Homes. Yeah. So
okay. So definitely you'd go with an adventurer.
Anytime.
So before this,
yep.
let's take it back a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Growing up, taking a trip to Mombasa with a family was a huge deal because the expenses we'd have to plan for like a whole year.
Yeah.
And if you want to go out of the country, well, that's going to be another story altogether.
Yeah.
Because it seemed very expensive. It seemed, for some people, unattainable.
Yeah.
But then that has changed over time. And we've seen companies that come up with different destinations at an affordable fee. True. But then nature comes in even hapo chini kidogo to make it very, very affordable. Please tell us a bit more about nature and how that came about.
Yeah, so way back, I remember personally I like traveling. Given a chance, I'll travel every weekend, right? I realized that, by the time you're stepping your foot outside Nairobi,
yes,
it's a cost, right? From transport all the way to the accommodation bit. So 2016, back then, a couple of friends and me, we used to do Nakuru drives, with our classic cars, going back there, and you have to look for accommodation.
You just say classic cars.
I hate to. Looking at it that way, you're in a foreign town, you have to look for accommodation, go to the hotels, and you realize if you don't have anything above 3.5 to get a decent room, or 4K thereabout to have breakfast and all that, then it will be a challenge. So I discovered a specific house in Nakuru, which used to be about, let's say, 4K thereabout for 2-bedroom. And when you have a couple of friends pulling your resources together, you end up spending, like 1,000, 1,200, right? Thereabout for accommodation.
Yes.
And you realize it's just a home away from home, kind of a feeling. And you have the space, you have the kitchen, you have the sitting room. Unlike a normal hotel where you have a room.
Just
you're restricted to the room.
Just the bed, the shower, the end.
Exactly. And here you are with 4 friends or 2 friends, and you already have an entire house for yourself. With a minimum spend of about 1,000 shillings or 1,200.
Okay. And
then I realized, this can be a business if you look at it going forward. So I started hooking up my friends whenever they go to different towns. So back in 2016, 2017, I realized this can be a good business. So I started now looking to other towns. So it's Nakuru, Naivasha, Nanyuki, Mombasa, and Nairobi, where also we have apartments running around Nairobi as well, where we get customers for long stays and short stays. We have some people coming into the country. They're on a budget. They want to look at maybe spending 60 Gs for an entire month. So you give them a fully furnished apartment. And that's how we started out growing over time.
I was talking, I think a couple of times I've had ardent travelers. They travel on their bikes. They travel on a budget. And the one thing I've had from all of them is that stay away from the hotels.
Very true.
Stay away. If you're going to be traveling probably all of Europe, then you can't afford to be sleeping in the 3 stars and 4 stars because itaisha ukishafika town ya kwanza.
Yeah, it's like $500 a night.
Yes.
Right?
So when so that means this thing has been happening in other parts of the world, but it wasn't happening here.
Yeah. And I think that's what fueled us. And if you look at today, we're telling you with about 5,000 shillings, you're able to stay in coast for like 2 nights.
What?
3 days, 2 nights.
5,000.
5,000 shillings.
5,000.
And to make it even more juicier.
Okay.
If you're the 2 of you and have about 3,500, 2 people, you're able to stay for 2 days, 3 days, 2 nights in Mombasa. To be specific, Inyali, right?
Eish.
And you wonder how is it possible? So if you
Yeah.
do the math, it's about 1,750 per person per night, and you're able to achieve that.
Mobada.
Imagine.
And I can just walk to the beach. So, and I'm
Ideally.
sure there's different accommodation for different people.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if I feel like, oh my God, Nyali is not my thing, I want to go to Diani or whatever,
Yeah.
then I can still enjoy that,
yes.
but still on a budget.
You still enjoy that on a budget. If you look at it, depends on what you want, how many you are as a group.
Okay.
I've realized there's power in groups, and there's power of saving in groups. So look at it this way: you're in Diani, you want a 2-bedroom, for example. We have some for about 6,000, which can be pulled by 4 people. Divide 6,000 by 4 people, it's barely nothing. And you're in Diani, and you know what? It's 5 minutes walk to the beach.
Yes.
Only 5 minutes walk to the beach, and you enjoy all that. You don't need to spend 50,000 to be on a beachfront per night, while you can spend 6,000 only about 3 or 4 blocks away from the beach. It's about how you do it.
That means for people, especially in Nairobi, who are looking to step out and have a good time, kuna kwanga Nax Vegas, Watu
Yes,
Avasha, then
exactly.
Mombasa, and all of that.
Yeah.
So you take care of them in that space.
We do.
And you started this before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Then that means when COVID hit and we were stuck in Nairobi and we were not going anywhere, then like every other business in the tourism industry, you were really hit.
Yeah. We became creative around it.
Oh, what happened?
We started doing staycations, right?
Oh,
So you're in
because
Nairobi?
yes, staycation started in yes.
It checked in, and actually, people are looking for houses to work in. You have an entire bunch of kids running around you. You have a Zoom call to do. You're like, oh no, this can't happen in the house, right? So you have to move out and get a space and actually do it, right? And you also want peace of mind. Sometimes you feel like, okay, it's too much. I want to get out of the house. People are stressed at some point, right?
Yeah.
People wanted to go out of the house, experience something different. And we talk about mental wellness during that time, right? And we're looking at how can we actually plug into this and help people. So we started doing even national parks, get people outside the house. At
Because
that moment,
it became
Exactly.
a huge fad.
It became
Everybody
a
was going. I did go.
you can imagine.
There was nowhere else to go.
Exactly. Locked within
So
the CBD.
it transitioned from just homes
Yeah.
and added the adventure beat of everything.
Exactly.
And does this happen to all the other places where Nature Homes is also?
Yes. Currently, we're even doing a package for Nakuru, Naivasha, and Nanyuki. We were telling you, you know what, we need 7,000 for 2 days, 1 night in Nanyuki, with a tour van that picks you in Nairobi, takes you to Olpajeta National Park, takes you back to the accommodation bit of it, which is a fully furnished apartment, then takes you back to Nairobi the next day.
So we have got no reason not to tembea Kenya.
I mean,
And local tourism, I think last year we knew local tourism is what held this country together. Nothing was coming in from outside. So we kept doing this. And it also helped a lot when it came to mental health because we needed to get out of our spaces because we were really, really confined.
Yeah.
Being trusted to have people in other people's houses is something that even the landlords will be like, it's a risk, right?
Yeah.
What would you say is the one thing as Kenyans, tunafanya tunachoma?
Yeah.
Tunachoma to you're given a house, it's really nice, it's in good shape,
Yeah.
but then by the time we check out after our 5Gs 2 nights in Mobada, what are some of the things that really, if you had a chance given a loud microphone, which you've been given today, that you would be like, I'm calling you out, guys, for doing this?
Man, I think being in this business for a while now, I think the worst thing that people do actually when they travel is, and I've seen it also in the foreign channels, where if you check out common courtesy, don't pour drinks on the bed.
Okay.
Right? Don't pour,
On the
like
seats.
wine, whiskey, whatever it is on your seats and someone's seats. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Those are stains.
Yeah.
It means another investment to come and clean it. Treat it as your own house if you travel anywhere. Basic courtesy. If you need a glass, please, if you break it, please let the owner know that, hey, we broke this glass, and discuss
how can we sort
exactly.
it out?
But you see, the normal mananchi that we know, you'll use the towels, you'll use the towels to wipe your shoes, just basic courtesy. And it's usually very an irritating, kind of a thing for you to do. You don't do that in your own house, but you want to do it on such a platform, which is a bad thing. I mean, it's something we need to change as Kenyans.
As a traveler, before you started the business, business. You love to travel, you love to explore.
Wow, yeah.
Still do, I
still-
believe.
I
Still
still
do, I
do.
believe.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you look out for when you're traveling? When you're getting into that house, getting to that home, that hotel,
Yeah.
that expedition?
Yeah.
What is it that you look for?
I think I would like to take it back. It starts from right before I leave the house.
Okay.
If I'm on a budget, the things I'm going to look at. I'm going to use, of course, a cab to SGR. I'm not going to use a flight one way. I'll look at it. SGR is 1,000 shillings, right?
Yes, it is.
From my house, probably if I use Uber, whatever it is, Bolt, it's about 300, 400 shillings, right? So I get to the SGR, it takes me to Mombasa. From Mombasa,
That's a
point of arrival.
G300.
A G300 right now. From Mombasa to, let's say, Nyali,
Yes.
it's about 350 per person. If you use the carpooling options with the vans that actually, you know, are parked right outside.
They're
that
carpooling options?
Yeah, they do. They do Mtwapa, Nyali, all the way in that route. It's about 350 to Nyali.
Okay.
So I won't use Uber when I get there. So I'll use the
Ngema 3.
carpooling. It's 350, right?
Yes.
I'm in Nyali. I already checked into my house. If I look at that and I look at the other option now, if I'm feeling baked, there's bus.
Flying.
Yeah, but there's another cost, right?
Okay.
From your house to the airport, minimum, I think airport is quite, you know, a bit higher in terms of prices, like
Yes.
500, 600 bob, right?
Yes.
Flight is about 4 or 5 if you book it early. Last
Yeah.
minute is expensive, right? So there are factors I look at. If I'm on a budget, I'll use SGR to the
Okay.
place.
Okay.
If I'm really, really tight, again, I use SGR back. But if you feel like, you know, sometimes it's on a Sunday, you have to get to work on Monday, what's the easiest way? A flight probably back and, you know. So back to the house, I think one thing, if depending on where I'm going, if it's Mombasa, I like to have a breeze. I like to be in a balcony where there's breeze and I can be able to see the ocean. That's all
The
about
view.
Mombasa.
Yes.
Yeah, the view and all
Yes,
that.
yes.
Next thing will be, you know, how clean is the house
Yep.
in terms of the beddings, in terms of, you know, even the basics, seats, the way they're arranged and all that. So the nitty-gritties,
Air conditioning and all
especially that's the AC.
AC.
It's AC, and
Yeah.
you know, but most of the house, 80% you find it's more fun. But as long as you have big windows that let in, you know, fresh air and the breeze in, then you're good to go.
good to go.
You're good to go.
And this
the
is-
mosquito nets,
And this and mosquito nets.
very key.
This depends on the different places that you're going.
Yes,
That
yes.
means that if you want to travel, then you need to do your due diligence.
Yes.
Find out what the transport will be from one place to another, how you'll be able to move around,
Yep.
how much it will cost you.
Yep.
Please be shown what the house looks like before, so
Yep.
that you do not end up with a situation where you are not very comfortable. Would you say over the years, Chris, that we've embraced this form of traveling and spending and exploring?
Yeah. It depends. If I say before COVID, things were much okay, right? Right now, everything is tight. There's a lot for, you know, for Kenyans to pay. Too much taxes, school fees. You know, you still want to save. You still want to do some investment. And what's left? The little that is left is what now has been left for tourism. And you can
Because
imagine.
we are looking at it as a luxury.
Yeah,
right
now it's
now,
a
because
luxury.
it is.
Yeah, it is a luxury right now. Looking at the conditions, it is the way the country is right now. And I like to say, if you look at people who travel abroad, whatever it is, to other countries, they've kind of like scaled that down. And I can tell you for sure, if you want to travel outside Kenya, then you can't travel less than 100,000. It won't make sense, right? There's the flight part of it, there's accommodation, there's the movement.
That is true.
There's a form of security, some money you need to have in the pocket at any given time.
Yes.
Mombasa, as long as you have 1,000, you can always get back home. Bare minimum. If you spend your money like, oh, I have a G,
I have a G.
I'll still make it home.
Need to SGR.
Exactly. And you're here. Wherever, if you get to Nairobi, you can always police and get back to your house and survive. And look at it when you're abroad, 100,000. It's blown in circling guys for money and all that survive. There's a lot to be explored in this country.
So let's
Even
do
before you know, cross the border to go to the nearest country. Have people gone to Nanyuki? Have they explored Nanyuki enough? Have they explored Nanyuki, you know, Nakuru and the rest? And that's why Zeta Homes are looking at being within local, you know, being local in the country and, you know, open doors to more experiences within the country that people have never ever thought of.
Okay, that means you also give us a chance to
Yes.
experience
Yeah.
the culture in the different
Exactly.
places, the different beautiful gems that are in this country that we haven't seen. So even if I'm looking at just traveling and maybe not accommodation, Later Homes is also able to take care of that.
Yeah. Even currently as we speak, we've done picnic in the parks. Now we're introducing picnics above and beyond just giving you a house. We're telling you, hey, you can You can do a national park in Alpajeta.
Yeah.
You're in Mombasa. Hey, you can do a yacht, right?
Yes.
Come do sundown yacht. Experience the sunset in the sea.
Let me tell you.
You know.
The reason Nata Homes is here today, I randomly did a questionnaire on Instagram, and I discovered that they have such an amazing catalog of the things that you can get to do, because they were randomly available for me to just go to the park randomly like that. So imagine if you plan well with them, what you would be able to achieve. And thank you so much for that. How can people get in touch with you, as you also give us your parting shot when it comes to tours and travel and enjoying this beautiful country that we have?
I'll say, let's discover, let's explore. There's a lot in the country.
That is true.
Lastly, we are on Facebook, Instagram, as Nata Homes. Our contact number is 0710 72 72 06.
Just say that again.
0710 72 72 06. So you can reach us on that number, and we can always customize anything for you. We are very flexible on your budget.
Oh, there's that option? You hadn't mentioned that earlier.
It's there. It's parting shot on your budget. It's
so
flexible.
Whatever amount of money I have, you can tell me what it is that you can give me.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to come and reach us.
I beg.
Tell me you have 5K and I'll okay, let me break it down for you.
I have 5K, but I want to go to Netherlands. How about that?
Yeah, if the flights are going to give you a full flight, we're good.
You're
We'll
good
hook you
to
up
go.
to another house down there.
What is the future for Nata as we come to the end of this conversation?
Well, Nata, we're looking at even having our own places, our own homes, our own, fleet of cars, probably, and luxury cars where we can pick you wherever it is. Even right now, we can still do that. We can get to Mombasa and say, I want to be picked on a Mercedes, I want to be picked on a Prado, I want to be picked on a whatever, a van.
Okay.
We always do that. We plug in whatever you want. We can customize what you want.
Asante sana
Yeah.
kukuja.
Thank you very much for having me.
Tunafurahi.
Yeah.
Trip basi ndo hizi. Well, how far have you gone?
Yeah.
And considering you can do this on a budget, I mean, it's a beautiful thing that we have in this country, and we have such beautiful places to discover. So I don't know what's keeping you back, because I'm about to discover some places. Yeah. Asante. Very inspirational. We are going to take a very short commercial break. When we come back, if you are into makeup, ever heard of something called baking? What is that? We're going to be talking and seeing it being done right here after this break.